Yeah, hi there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lecture. And today let us go and take a look on the completable and the completable observer. So the completable is used when the observer has to do some tasks without emitting a value, and that is really interesting over here, because till now what we have shown is that the observer is the one that performs some tasks and it emits a value. Till now we have learned this one, that observable will do some tasks and emit a value, but here we can see that completable does some tasks but without emitting a value. So that is the interesting point over here. And let's go and take a look in a practical way how we create this one and how does it work. So let's go back to our Android Studio project over here, and I think I'll just copy this function over there. And what we have to do over here is, instead of the observable, we have to, the return type is the completable. So make sure you take from the completable from the reactive X extension, and the completable doesn't have the type, so we can remove that type over there. And also just copy this one, and return type is completable.create, and you can see that the emitter.onNext is not available for us. So the for loop is not used because here we want to perform some tasks, and if the emitter is not disposed, which means that our observable over here is not disposed, then we want to perform some tasks. We have to find some tasks to do over here. Then onComplete is called, and if there is an error, we call the onError. So there is no onSuccess onNext over here. If you take a look, there is no onSuccess or onNext over here. So just an onComplete and onError. So before onComplete, we want to call some function, and I think we need to change the name. So create completable observable. I think that should be fine. And let us call or create some function before we do onComplete over here. So let's go to the main activity. I have this function over here. Last time we created that one, so I will just go down and paste it over here. So I will just call this function from here. So get location. So I want to call the get location before the emitter.onComplete is called. And the next step is we need to create the observer for this one. So function, we have the observer observer for our completable observer. So just copy the name, and that is the return type is of the completable observer. So make sure you take the completable observer from the reactive extension, and it doesn't have any return type. And now we have to return over here is the return of the object. Let us create the object over here, and let us implement the anonymous class over here for the completable. Sorry, it should be completable observer. And then we have to implement all of the member function for this one. So let us implement one member function. That is, we have a 3. So we have onSubscribe, onComplete, and onError. So onNext or onSuccess is totally not available over here. So what we will do is we'll just, I think I'll just copy the same thing. I think I'll just copy this one, so I don't have to rewrite again. So just copy and paste this one, and onComplete is there. So onComplete is there, right? And onError. So onError. So onNext and onSuccess, which we cannot find it over here. So when onComplete is done, it will trigger over there, and we have this function which is called. So let's go back to the main activity, and let us call that. Let me call that function, which is of this one, and copy and paste it over here. And this is a function dot subscribe, and on the subscribe we call that this one observer. We have to call the observer over here. And if you try to run the application now, we should get the printout of this function should be called before onComplete. So if you go and take a look, yeah, onSubscribe is called, and the latitude and longitude is written for us, and onComplete is called. And let us try to check for the error. So if I want to get an error, so if there is an error, how does it get? So I can say throw over here, throw, and exception over here, and exception, let us say we just get an exception or okay, just say an exception, and that should be okay. So let us try to, I think I'll just comment out this one, and if you run this one, we should get this should be triggered, on error should be triggered. The unsubscribe is there and on error is called for us. And if I remove this one, and you can play around with all of this, and I will just say here th let us say thread dot sleep, and I want to sleep for 2 seconds over here, and before it got and print this one. So we just want to check whether that this onComplete is called before after this get location is completed. So just go and run this one. So we just want to test some of the logic over here, and we get unsubscribe, and this is called and this is called. So all works perfectly fine. So you can just go and play around with all of this, what you want to try it over here, and that's it. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.